Our other big story tonight, Florida earthquake. Did you feel it?
So we've learned it's rare, but it might happen more than you think. People felt it over in Brevard County, all the way up to Jacksonville in the north, Clearwater on the other coast. News 6's Troy Campbell spoke to an expert.
The U.S. Geological Survey confirming a 4.0 earthquake about 100 miles off the coast of Brevard County, just before 11 o'clock Wednesday night.
It's just a matter of stress building up over time in the crust. And, so it may release an earthquake and then it might be another 5 or 10 years before you get another similar sized earthquake.
Oliver Boyd with USGS says during the past 40 years, there have been about 8 natural earthquakes in the Atlantic. He says since Wednesday night, 145 people have filled out this form on their website, saying they felt the quake up to 300 miles away from the epicenter.
For earthquakes in the central and eastern U.S., the seismic waves tend to travel to a much greater distance than, say, earthquakes in California. So it's, possible a large number of people felt this earthquake.
Small quakes off the coast of Central Florida in 2006 and 2016 were later determined to be military testing events.
3, 2, 1, go.
This video from 2021 off the Florida coast shows water shooting into the air as part of shock testing for the USS Gerald Ford. Crews inside are seen being jolted by the blast. This map shows all of the fault lines in the world. You can see this fault line going right across the coast of Asia. Over here, you can see it lines the west coast of North America. Then by Florida, there are no lines. However, News 6 meteorologist Jonathan Kagas says the line near Puerto Rico is known to be more active.
This is the fault line. This is where the earthquakes are more common anyway, where the North American plate is meeting up with the Caribbean plate. And this is where you see the active earthquake zone.
Troy Campbell, Getting Results, News 6.
All right, we're going to come back here during that song. I'm not sure if you felt it or not, but there was a 4.7 earthquake. We are hearing that it happened in Malibu. Kai, you were able to look at a couple of things while we were over here on this set. So
yeah, there's a couple of areas, one being just to the southeast of the Wrightwood area too. You could see that red dot coming up on the screen. So obviously it just happened within the last couple of minutes. So we're still trying to see exactly where this one took place. But over the last few minutes, we are picking up a couple of temblors. We've taken you around Southern California, and we're seeing over the last 12 hours, another weak one just to the east of Frazier Park. But again, we're still taking a look at a good deal of energy and activity as we head up into some of the mountain areas just above the San Gabriel Valley. So we're going to continue to keep our eyes on that. But Lou was just talking about, what would you say, Lou, a 4.7 in Malibu. So we're going to continue to take a look at that, but it's not coming up yet on the tracker, but we're going to continue to take a look at the Malibu area. Now we're taking it and we're hearing that rather than a 4.7, it's been downgraded to about a 4.5. And as we all know, once you get a shake like the one that we just felt, you're going to see and start to feel some temblors that will most likely make their way around Southern California. That typically could last up to 24 hours. So yeah, you could at home or at work feel a temblor coming through your area for the rest of the day today, hits and misses, and we're continuing to check in. And I'm sure that Dr. Lucy Jones will begin to join us sometime a little bit over the next few minutes to tell us a little bit more about where and how strong that this particular quake was for Southern California. And Glenn, Lou, you guys might have a little bit more information, so we'll send it back to you.
Well,
a large earthquake has struck Hawaii. The 5.7 earthquake struck the Big Island, Hawaii, roughly 21 miles south of Hilo. There is no tsunami threat at this time. Some shaking could be felt in Honolulu, on the island of Oahu, which is about 200 miles to the north. So for more, let's bring in our ABC News affiliate reporter, KITV reporter, Jeremy Lee. Jeremy, you were there during the earthquake, of course. You're on that island. What was it like? What can you tell us about damage?
Sustained. Sometimes we get these kind of earthquakes that last 3 seconds, 4 seconds, even north of Hilo where I live, and I felt it. But this one just kept going. 9 seconds, 10 seconds. You start wondering, should I even be indoors? I'm currently driving on Hawaii Island down towards South Point. Of course, Kilauea, the volcano, is to the south of Hilo, but even further beyond that is Na'aleu, where the town nearest the epicenter. So we're going to try to, it's a remote town, we're going to try to find out who's there and how they felt it there at the epicenter.
All right, so this is not a common occurrence, I gather, and then there's always a concern, obviously, about an earthquake, in the ocean, about a tsunami. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the USGS, they've put out an advisory that there is no tsunami advisory at this point, that is not a concern right now. As far as the damage itself, again, because this one lasted so long, we're interested to find out what it was like near the epicenter south of Kilauea volcano. Now, earthquakes are very common. In Pahala, a town near the epicenter, they have hundreds of them actually in a week because you have magma under the surface that is moving. But one that was this big and that lasted as long as this one is a rare occurrence. Certainly, I haven't felt anything like it since I've been here.
We've got some breaking news. Melbourne has been rocked overnight by a magnitude 4.3 earthquake. It happened at 12:49 a.m. with the epicentre of the quake near Leongatha in the state's east. Melbourne residents over 130 k's away say they felt a little shaken up.
Is anyone else feeling this earthquake in Melbourne? I think it's an earthquake. Oh my God.
I thought of someone banging on the back door out there, and I got up from the office and walked out here, and the windows were shaking and the birds were flying out of the tree. And then I realised it was a earth tremor or earthquake.
It's the second quake to hit Victoria this week, with a smaller 3.3 magnitude being recorded just days ago.
Welcome to World's Cataclysm TV. Today earthquake hit in Philippines. Don't skip this video, watch the full video. A magnitude 5.8 earthquake occurred in Augusten del Norte province at around 11:22 February 10. The epicenter was about 25 kilometers 16 miles south-southwest of Bhutan City. The tremor occurred at a depth of about 25 kilometers 16 miles, and light shaking was probably felt throughout the Augusten del Norte province. There have been no initial reports of damage or casualties, or it could take several hours until authorities can conduct comprehensive damage assessment, especially in remote areas. Aftershocks are likely over the coming days. Officials may temporarily shut down transportation infrastructure in the tremor zone to check for the damage. Minor disruption could occur during the shutdown, but service will likely resume quickly if no damage is found.
A magnitude 4.9 earthquake hit China today. The earthquake had a magnitude of 5.1 and struck at 14:17 local time near the city of Itoigawa and Niigata Prefecture. The earthquake was felt across a wide area of central and northern Japan, including Tokyo, Nagano, and Hokkaido. The earthquake caused some damage to buildings, roads, and power lines, but no major injuries or fatalities have been reported. The earthquake did not trigger a tsunami warning, but some coastal areas were advised to stay alert for possible changes in sea level. The earthquake was followed by several shocks, but no injuries were happened. It was followed by several aftershocks, the largest being a magnitude 3.8 quake that occurred at 1:07 p.m. local time near the same location. The earthquake was located near the border with Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, where many earthquakes happen due to the movement of tectonic plates. Thank you so much for watching our channel. If you haven't subscribed our channel yet, please do subscribe and hit the